A late good morning, everybody. Mike Smith along with Shane Combs on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth. We start out our volleyball coverage for the fall of 2023, and I think it might be a good one today here at Adena High School. Two Southern Ohio powerhouses as the Adena Warriors host the Jeeps of South Webster. Shane, these two teams have met at the beginning of the season, the last two seasons. Adena winning here 2 years ago down at South Webster last season, but more recently during the summer, which I know doesn't count, but this past summer at one of the tournaments, South Webster beat Adena 2-1. So just a little bit of a flavor is what we might be looking at here today.
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense for two programs like this to get together as often as possible. You know, early in the year, I kind of look at it as the volleyball fans are kind of the winners. You know, you get one of these matchups to come out and get the season started. I know South Webster has already been underway a little bit. Our league schedule is going to kick off in the SVC here in the upcoming week. But, just a great test for the programs. Obviously, someone's going to go 0-1, but I don't think that's going to be anything that's going to set the season in the wrong direction in terms of where these teams want to get in their league play and into sectional and district and so on.
Season opener today for Adena. South Webster has not only two matches under their belt this week, but two conference matches. An impressive win over a young but very talented Wheelersburg club on Tuesday, 3-1, and then they swept West on Thursday night.
Yeah, great start in the league. Great opportunity for them head-to-head with Wheelersburg. From what I understand in the preseason talk, that was a big one to get. And then, you know, now they're going to step out of conference here today and get a great test. And on the Adena side, opening up, SVC is going to get going Tuesday and Thursday. And I know a lot of people feel like Adena, right there with Uniota at the top, in terms of a lot of people I talk to, that's coming up next Thursday night even. So I'm sure early in the year to get a test like this, both coaches probably love the opportunity to kind of see where they're at.
Going back to the SOC, I think you got to look at South Webster as certainly an odds-on favorite. However, from what I saw out of that Wheelersburg club, and again, they're young. They lost a lot to graduation, but they've got some very good young talent. And if they keep improving, I think by the second round, the Lady Pirates will be right there with this Jeeps team.
Well, you and I were just talking off the air a little bit about football, how it being the one-round sport. You know, when you get in that two-round sport, it is interesting how teams change from the beginning of the year to the second year. You know, if you're a sophomore or junior and you're a first-year varsity player, it does mean a lot to get those first, 10, 12, 14 maybe games under your belt, and then by the end of the year, you're a different player. So I think that's a great point.
Something a little different for both of these clubs. Last year, both teams ran what's known as a 5-1 offense. That means you have one setter that basically sets on all rotations. Both teams have changed to a 6-2 this year. Both South Webster and Adena, they needed another outside hitter, so Grace Townsend of Adena will be an outside hitter when she hits the front row, and the same with Bella Claxon, the All-District Player of the Year last season. When she hits the front row, she's an outside hitter. Now, they could change all of that today, but that's what Darcy's been doing with South Webster this past week.
Yeah, I think that's a great observation going in the year for different programs. It's, you know, people have listened to me over the years know I've had a lot of setter bias. I think maybe that's my point guard background, but when I think of quarterbacking at all, but you know, as you go into the you go into these preseason things and you talk about it until you get out there on the court and you truly see it when it counts. It's interesting to see, but that is something to keep an eye on. I think it's going to spread some volleyball talent across the net, and I'm sure coaches are trying to get their best players, their hands on the ball as much as possible. So that will certainly be something interesting in today's match to watch.
Volleyball is one of those sports that I've over the years, you know, where basketball you have your starting five, and in volleyball it doesn't really matter who starts because there's so many players that rotate in and out of the match. You know, it's not really like a lot of other sports. I mean, yeah, basketball you have subs, but it seems to be a lot more frequently because it goes more by position.
Well, don't you feel like there's a little bit more specialty involved?
Absolutely.
Because, you know, in basketball, I'm not saying that you don't have someone that you think of as your rebounder or your defender or so forth, but at the same time, they've got to go out and dribble, pass, catch, shoot. And in the same way in football, you may have someone that you use in situations, but when the ball goes live, they got to play. where in volleyball you do have a little bit more of that depth in terms of your passer. Maybe it's some long arms that you want to put at the net for 3 rotations to put up a big block. Yeah, I do. I think there's some things. And, the interesting point about that is when you talk about the elite programs, a lot of times with the growth of club and so forth, it's not always the star power. It's not always, a lot of times this team's top 2 or 3 players might match up just fine with these 2 or 3, but it's when you get in the rotations 4, 5, 6, and you start to get some of that depth you're talking about in that specialization, that's where some of the best programs really start to come to the top.
Here are some of the cast of characters that you'll hear from both teams today. Addie Claxton, she's a sophomore. Bria Schubert, a junior. Lauren Kaltenbach, Michaela Raynard, Sydney Kessler, Mia Crum. Her name's Isabella Claxton, but everybody calls her Bella. Skylar Zimmerman, Marin Smith, Lakin McGraw also on the South Webster roster. For Adena, Brenna Bossert, Cameron Sowers, Addison Weiscup, Eva Kruger, Grace Townsend, Brooke Bossert, Corinne Day, Katie Burns, Adriana McFerrin, Brinley Preston, Haley Howard. Now coming off the bench today could be Peyton Robinson. So, you only get so many substitutions. I think 18 is the max per set. So the longer a set goes, there's always that danger of running out. I don't know if you saw this Thursday night. Circleville and Fairfield Union went 5 sets. One of those sets was 34-32. I'm curious to know whether they ran out of subs in that one.
I would say there's a good point. And, it is interesting as time goes on. Maybe this is the club circuit, more girls playing, whatever. You could probably comment on this better than me. Doesn't it seem like in comparison to 10, 12, 15 years ago that the coaches are using, you just talked specialization, right. They are using a few extra girls throughout their rotation, or at least that's what it seems like to me as the sport continues to grow in our area.
Absolutely. And those that maybe will play all the way around with all of their rotations, those are generally the premier players that may even move on to the other round. We're talking about Bella Claxton, for example, for South Webster. I believe she's already made a decision that she will attend Mount Vernon Nazarene to play her college volleyball after she graduates from South Webster. So, that's a great program. I think maybe her sister plays basketball up there or something like
tremendous.
that.
I actually had a chance to coach against these South Webster girls a couple years ago. A couple names jump out at me there, and watching them on film as much as I did, getting in preparation of that. A super athlete.
Oh, yeah.
So the group that you're talking about that's gone on here in graduation the last couple years into this group, and then as I look down through some of the younger ones, as all the great programs do, it looks like they're just going to continue one after the other here.
Now both of these teams went to the state tournament 2 years ago. At that time, South Webster was Division IV, Adena was Division III. I think there were some roster players that Adena had on that team that are playing now, but they didn't see a lot of playing time. But I think in South Webster's case, they do have a couple of kids that are playing that did see some action that year.
Yeah, they would. I watched that volleyball team that year as well, and I think you're right. I recognize probably 2 at least for sure, yeah.
All right, lineups will be announced to the rest of the crowd here at Frankfort, and then, of course, the national anthem. We'll take time for a break. You're watching Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Here at Glockner's, we know how valuable your time is, and that's why our priority is to provide you a quick and easy service. We will get you in and out and on your way immediately. So schedule your next service appointment at Glockner.com.
national anthem. Mike Smith, Shane Combs with you today here in the Southern Ohio Sports Authority. Big thanks to Dewey Daly for getting things set up, and our producer behind us today, Mr. John Bruce, to make sure we stay in line. Just poke me with a stick, John, if we say something we shouldn't say, or just not hit me over the head. We were laughing before we went on the air. You know, it's comfortable in this air-conditioned gym where I was last night in a unconditioned or a non-conditioned air-conditioning press box. I think I lost 10 pounds just sweating. Man, it was hot last night. A number of football games got moved to later times, but
yeah, they did. I think I'll enjoy calling more volleyball with you than I was football this time of year.
You know, we were talking before our game that we had last night up at Westfall. You know, everybody loves artificial surface, but last night was a night that everybody was praising the natural grass because they say the artificial surface increases the field temperature by 10 to 20 degrees.
You'd be amazed on that. I know from just the baseball side of things, and well, even taking the kids outside, and we have the turf there at Paint Valley and so forth. You'll notice it during the day. So yeah, I'm sure last night all over Southern Ohio that was something that they have really had their eye on. I noticed them using more water breaks and things like that. Yeah. I thought that was really well done by the officials and the way they managed the game.
Good note for those traveling outside for sports next week. The forecast is much cooler temperatures, which we appreciate. Again, the lineups, actually the rosters for both teams just being completed. As you can see, Adena getting theirs announced. South Webster was already announced to the crowd. If you're tuning in late, again, South Webster 2-0 in the season. Adena, this is their first match. The Jeeps had wins last week over both Wheelersburg and West in conference, where the Warriors won't start SVC play until this coming week.
The quick JV match, I think, had some people out of their my wife Bethany and I, we always joke that we think the long 3-set JV match follows us. We'll get some long nights throughout the week, but today was a little quicker.
Well, you know, some of the schools, I think, are doing freshmen first, which makes a longer night. I think for the matches that are going to be played in Frankfort, they're going to play the freshmen in the auxiliary gym.
The other night, didn't I understand, they had the freshman JV doing at Chillicothe with Union. Yeah.
Right. So both teams have been announced, and we're just about ready to get this thing going here. Non-conference affair on a Saturday. Long drive for South Webster folks who are well represented following their outstanding volleyball team here to Frankfort today.
Yeah, this is outstanding. I think just looking down at the crowd on a Saturday morning tells you what you need to know about these two programs and the way they love their volleyball.
And it looks like South Webster might have first serve. Nope, take that back. It's going to be Adena. Brooke Bossert will get things started for the Warriors as we are just now getting underway. That's Addie Claxton up to Sister Bella with the set, and the outside attack by Zimmerman in for a kill, and that gives South Webster a 1-0 lead.
Great job of the middle, going hard there to freeze the block, and they were able to shoot it outside and get a little bit more of an open net.
1-0 Jeeps. And Bella Claxton goes back to serve. Of course, as a back row player, she'll be the setter in the 6-2 offense now. And the Bossert with the reception. That's Preston going down the line, dug up by Bella Claxton. This will be a back row attack by Addie Claxton. And the Warriors scrambling. That's Eva Kruger with the attack. Dug up there by Addie Claxton. Outside Zimmerman with a tip. Kept alive by the Warriors. Kruger again. She has a roll shot. Dug by Zimmerman. Back setting for Smith. Blocked in play by the Warriors. Tipped over deep. Bossert with the dig. Now outside Kruger again. Blocked in play by the Lady Jeeps. Claxton dumps it deep in the corner. Bossert with a dig. Back setting for Grace Townsend off the block. Comes back over. Long rally. We have a whistle. And one of the Lady Jeeps was in the net. Point for Adena. On that tip, anytime a ball is attacked by one team, if the opposition is in the net, that attacker gets credit for a kill, and that was Preston. 1-1 time. This is Kruger to serve. And that's an ace as it's shanked out of bounds by Raynard.
Nice little action there to help Adena get settled in. A lot of times what I look for is a team that's already played 2 big matches and a team on their opening day. You just look for those opening day jitters a little bit.
2-1 Adena. And Kruger to serve. Going deep, Addie Claxton with the pass, kept alive by her sister Bella. Now Crum with the attack, dug up back there by Brooke Bosser. Now Townsend, cross-court dig by Claxton in the middle. Crum with a left-hand tip for the kill. That ties it up at 2. Mia, a lefty. Tell you, that's something that is oftentimes overlooked, Shane. A left-handed attacker, especially when she's on the net, that's hard to read if you're not used to seeing that.
It seems that way across sports. You'll hear people say that with the left hand, and it certainly makes that her strong side on the attack.
Crum back to serve, and it is a net serve, so the point goes to Adena as they lead it 3-2 here in the opening set. Grace Townsend back to serve for the Warriors. Townsend serve. Overpassed by the Jeeps. Here comes the Warriors. Preston with a kill.
Great example where, on the serve, it's not an ace, but a lot of times it's a serve that gets the other team out of system, and you're able to come back at them quick, and they weren't able to set the defense. I like the pace that Adena went with in the middle there.
4-2 Warriors. Again, Townsend to serve. Pass there by the Jeeps, going outside on the attack by Schubert, and she gets the kill.
I think we had a tip there at the net.
Bria with her first kill. Cuts the Adena lead to 4-3. Zimmerman back to serve for the Jeeps. Deep serve, played up there by Burns. Now the tip by Preston, dug up by Addie Claxton. Now out of the middle, dumped over by the Jeeps, played up by the Warriors. There's Preston with a roll shot kill. Kind of the equivalent to the off-speed ball for...
Yeah, been real impressed with Preston in the early going with her activity on the defensive side and then mixing it up in her attacks offensively.
5-3 Adena. And there's an attack and a kill coming up there for the Jeeps. Apologies, I had the wrong. I was giving the Jeeps the away score, but they had them flipped on our computer. So it is still 5-4, Adena. Serve coming up here by Coltenbach of the Jeeps. Played up by Howard. Now the outside roll shot by Day. Dug up there by Zimmerman. Backside attack by Claxton for the kill. Bella with her first. Ties it up at 5.
Nice adjustment by the elite athlete Claxton there. That ball off the net, able to just gather from 2 and go and attack with a little bit more athleticism than you'll see with a lot of kids in high school volleyball.
Coltenbach with the serve. Going outside, Day swinging away. Blocked in play by the Jeeps. Tipped over by Townsend for a kill. Townsend went up as if to set it in the last minute with the 2 hands, took it over. Subbing in for Adena, this is Cameron Sowers to serve. 6-5 Adena lead in the opening set, if you're just joining us here on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth. Addie Claxton with the pass. Outside, Bella Claxton. Cross-court shot dug up by Sowers. Townsend outside to Kruger. Blocked in play by the Jeeps. Back setting on the attack and a kill by South Webster.
One of the hardest things to do in sports is to get kids to go when they're not sure if they're getting the ball or not. And early on, I've really been impressed with how all the hitters for South Webster are going, and it's really got Adena's defense at the net a little off balance and where to take the block.
Schubert with a kill, ties it at 6. Burns with a pass, going outside Kruger, blocked in play by the Jeeps, but then falls to the floor. 7-6 Adena. If I hesitate just a moment on some of the South Webster players, please excuse me. I'm a little colorblind, and the contrast of their red jersey numbers against the black background is a little tough for me to pick up from time to time. Here come the Jeeps. That's Crum with a rip shot up the middle for the kill. 7-all.
There's the lefty moving up and down the net. You know, on the backside, we talk about attacking as a strong side hitter would, but they're moving her up and down the net, and that's where as a blocker, you got to make that adjustment to get on that other shoulder.
Back to serve. This is Renard. In the middle, tipped by Day, dug up by Bella Claxon. Now Bella will get it back with a shot blocked in play by the Warriors. Now Bella tips it over with 2 hands and kept alive by Adena. Out of the middle, Crum for the kill. Mia really cranking on it with the left hand. 8-7 South Webster.
Great effort from Adena to keep it off the floor, but as a result, they were unable to reset the defense, and South Webster did a good job of coming back quick, and a hot start for Crum, swinging with the left hand.
Rayner to serve, and that's wide out of bounds. Service error ties it at 8. Brooke Bossert back to serve for the Warriors. Tied at 8-all here in the opening set. Deep serve. Addie Claxon with the pass up to Bella. That's Crum going deep, and it's on the back line for the kill. That's 4 kills by Mia Crum. 9-8 South Webster.
And again, we're seeing the variety. We've had it out of the backside. We've had it out of the middle there. Some good vision with the tip to the back corner.
Bella Claxon with the serve. Bella Bossert with the pass. Now outside, a roll shot by Kruger. Dug up back, and South Webster players down. Tipped over by the Jeeps. Preston out of the middle with a tip, and that'll be a kill for Adena, but I think she's going to be all right, but Shane, she stayed down there for a little bit.
It was Zimmerman, and she was transitioning to get back into her hitting position there. I think she just maybe caught a foot of a teammate and went down, so it looks like she's okay.
That ties it at 9. Kruger to serve. Addie Claxon with the pass. Bella back setting for Crum. Down the line for the kill. 5 from Mia Crum. 10-9 Jeeps.
Great job by the setter there again, just keeping Adena off balance. And I love when the setter, just like a point guard in basketball, recognizes the hot hand. Crum really off to a good start.
Crum with the serve. Preston swinging away for the kill. That's 5 for Preston, so Mia Crum and Brinley Preston with 5 kills each were tied at 10.
Yeah, I like Brinley's just overall energy early on in the match here. I noticed just at the net defensively, and then off to the hot start offensively as well.
Townsend to serve for the Warriors, 10-10 tie. Going deep, out of bounds. Service error, point South Webster. The Jeeps up 11-10.
I think that's Adena's first serving error. South Webster with a couple.
Zimmerman back to serve. Here's Schuyler's service. Howard with the pass. Going outside, that's Burns with a kill. And for Burns, that's, I believe, her first, ties it at 11. So right now, both teams just trading points. Preston to serve. Pass by Zimmerman. Little miscommunication. Jeeps get it over on the tip. Back setting for McFerrin. Kept alive on the pancake back there. And then the Jeeps hit it in the net. So hitting error by the Jeeps gives Adena a 12-11 lead.
Yeah, nice setter decision from Townsend there, and then give credit to South Webster, as you said, keeping it off the floor.
Zimmerman with a pass. Outside attack and a kill for Michaela Reynard.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how well the South Webster hitters go all the way across the net. It's really got the Adena blocking system out of whack a little bit here early on.
12-all. That was the second kill for Reynard. Ball popped up on the pass, going outside. Burns, cross court, deep kill. So Katie Burns with her second kill. Puts Adena up 13-12. Well, I think it's 13-12. They didn't put it up on the, yeah, they just added it late. John Bruce was on time, but the scorekeeper down there was not. I just looked for you, John. Sowers with the serve. And mishandle on that first pass attempt by Bella Claxon, and point Adena 14-12. That matches Adena's biggest lead of 2. Sowers going deep. Addie Claxon with a pass. Outside roll attempt by South Webster. That's Schubert goes in the net, and Adena with their biggest lead at 15-12. Sowers still serving here in the opening set. Again deep, but that's too deep. Out of bounds. Service error, point South Webster. 15-13 Warriors.
Yeah, she had put some pressure on the back row. There was some deep serving that led to 2 points, and then the air gives one back.
Addie Claxon to serve. Sowers with the pass up to Townsend, and Day puts it away.
Some of the preseason volleyball I watched, Mike, I really liked their chemistry with some of the quick action they were running there between Townsend and Day. A great example there where she's really coming right on top of her setter and makes it hard on the block to get there on time.
First kill for Day. She's a 6-footer. Claxon back setting, and that's a kill for South Webster's. What did they say it was out? Oh, apparently they said that the South Webster follow through in the net, so that's a hitting error and a point for Adena.
Oh.
Good catch, John. 17-13 Adena. Nice serve. That's an ace for Brenna Bossert, and the Warriors pull out to an 18-13 lead, and Darcy Claxon wants to talk about it. We're in the opening set. Our score, Adena 18, South Webster 13. You're watching the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
We are back, served by Adena. Back setting, tipped over, dug up by the Warriors. Now Townsend with the outside attack. Addie Claxon with the dig. Back setting for Raynard, dug up there by Bossert. Now out of the middle, Corinne Day. She cranked on it, but a great dig by Addie Claxon. Now Bella Claxon down the line, dug up by Brenna Bossert. Outside attack by Townsend, dug up by South Webster. And down the line goes Raynard with a kill.
That was some outstanding back row play on both sides. Earlier we had a long rally that had just a little bit more of, tossing the ball back and forth. That time was some really good volleyball and some really, really good back row play from both teams.
18-14, I think it should be, in favor of Adena. Outside attack by the Warriors, dug up by the Jeeps. Now Bella Claxon on the right side. Roll shot dug up by Kruger. Tipped over by the Warriors. Addie Claxon with a nice pass. Now Crum in the middle, blocked by Corinne Day. First time today that Mia has been blocked.
Well, and we talked about, the lefty. It's just a little bit different sometimes in your preparation. You might know it, but Day with a great adjustment there and getting the nice block, the hands extended out over the net.
19-14 Adena, and Zimmerman's attack on the outside is in the net, a hitting error, and that gives Adena a 20-14 lead on the Jeeps here in the first set. Brooke Bossert with the serve. Tight to the net. Bella does a nice job to tip it over. Now Townsend on the outside for Adena. Blocked in play. The Warriors keep it alive. They have to free ball over. Bella Claxon tipping deep. Dug up by Bossert. Townsend pushes it deep. Pass there by Raynard. Now Crum with a tip. And that's going to be a kill. Mia Crum with her 6th kill. Cuts it to 20-15.
Some great hustle from Adena's back row there, led by Bossert early in the play, but then unable to finish it off there. And South Webster, I'd say this is real go time right here. This is a big point for them.
Bella Claxon with the serve, passed by Sowers. Townsend going outside to Preston, out of bounds, long point. Jeeps 20-16. I believe in one of those matches earlier this week, the Jeeps were down in a set 20-12 and came back and won. So 20-14 is not that big a task. And then I jinxed Bella Claxton. She served in the net, so Adena gets a point on the service there. 21-16, Adena.
Yeah, the pace Adena plays with in the middle has been impressive. I think some of the outside hitting games still trying to get in rhythm here today.
Kruger with a serve. Addie Claxton with a pass. Back setting for Crum. Blocked in play by the Warriors. Claxton going deep on the attack and out of bounds. Point for the Warriors, 22-16, Adena. And if you're not familiar with volleyball, it's the best 3 out of 5. We have a break. We'll hang on right here. Southern Ohio Sports Authority brought to you by OhioHealth. Mike Smith, Shane Combs, and our producer, Mr. John Bruce. I was going to ask John how old he was because I think I remember doing some of his sports when he was in high school. When you're old, I can say that. I always said, guys, when I start doing a kid that I followed's grandkids, I'd get out, but I think I'm already there, so still hanging in there. Yeah. You graduated 23 years ago? 20 years ago. And I was old then. Yeah. Saying your thoughts, first of all, 22-16 thus far in set one.
Yeah, I think into the second part of this opening set, I really like the adjustment of Adena at the net. Crum got off to a hot start with the left hand. I've noticed that they've started to get the blocking a little bit more in rotation and sound where they want to go, and I think that's been a big factor in terms of helping them open up this lead here in the first set.
So Adena up by 6. Again, it's 25, win by 2 in the first sets. Pass by Addie Claxton up to Bella Claxton. Outside it goes, and it is not going to come back. Zimmerman's attack. I think McFerrin might have blocked it at the net. 23-16.
We're seeing some outstanding libero play on both sides today. These are 2 of the best in all of Southern Ohio, and they're as advertised.
And just before Kruger was to serve, the down official had timeout, maybe something. I tell you, even though we're in an air-conditioned gym, guys, there is a lot of humidity still in the air. I mean, we can feel it up here. And I noticed during the first, the JV match, they had to wipe the ball down a couple of times because, well, you got perspiration and some there on the floor that they're taking care of. Now, you don't want anybody, I've seen that movie before, you don't want anybody slipping and injuring themselves. So now Kruger at 23-16 will serve for Adena. Pass there by Raynard. Roll shot, and that'll be a kill for Zimmerman. Schuyler with her second kill.
One thing I picked up on the preseason, I see it again today, Adena, more so than I've seen in the past, they'll really utilize the corners in their serving approach. Just something to kind of watch in terms of the angle of attack.
Mia Crum with a serve, Howard with a pass. Outside, that is McFerrin. It's out of bounds long. Point for South Webster, 23-18.
Again, on the outside, as Adena's trying to play with a little bit more pace, it seems like they're just a speck off in their timing there. In the middle, I've seen some real impressive things with pace.
Crum with a serve, Howard with the pass. That's Preston to the tip, dug up there by Smith. Now Smith will get it back with a left-hand attack. Popped up by Howard, and that second contact by Bossert won't come back. Another point, 23-19, as South Webster making a run. Marin Smith with that last attack for the Jeeps. And that serve is out of bounds long by Crum, and now we're at set point, 24-19 Adena.
I think that's the 4th serving error. South Webster kind of comes at a time where Adena certainly could use the help. I thought the momentum was starting to turn there.
Townsend with the set point serve. Zimmerman with a pass. Tipped over by Schubert. Dug up by the Warriors. Now back setting for McFerrin. That's blocked in play by the Jeeps. Townsend shoots it deep. Great defensive effort by the Jeeps, but that second pass is too tight to the net, and the Warriors will win set 1 over the Jeeps 25-19. Stay with us. Set 2 is coming up as you're watching the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
There's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
This presentation of high school sports on Southern Ohio Sports Authority is brought to you in part by your local McDonald's. McDonald's proudly supports all area athletes again this season. Visit your local McDonald's in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly. And be sure to check out SOSA's newly relaunched podcast, Overtime, presented by McDonald's.
Mike Smith and Shane Combs back with you on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth. Set one to Adena over South Webster, 25-19.
Yeah, I thought in that first set, I was highlighting some of the incredible libero play. Two of the best in our area. You have Brooke Balsert on one side and Ada Claxton on the other, and it's just like in any sport. The better the quarterback wide receiver would be, the harder it would be to play cornerback, right? And in this case, you have two pretty elite volleyball teams serving at you and attacking at you, and I thought both of those young ladies were up to the challenge there in the opening set. In that
first set, the top attackers, actually Mia Crum of South Webster, she had 6 kills, and Brinley Preston had 5 for Adena as their top 2.
Well, I will say that Crum got off to the real hot start, but I will give Adena credit at the net. I thought they made some adjustments throughout the, probably early timeouts there, and they started to get the block into the right spot and then getting on the correct shoulder there with like you said, Crum swinging with the left hand. That's something a little bit different. I'm sure it's in your mind, it's in the game plan, the scouting report, but until you actually get out there, a lot of times I hear people saying all sports guarding the lefty just is it's just different.
Getting ready for set 2. Adena, who served first in the first set, so South Webster will have the privilege here in set 2. Again, it's the best 3 out of 5. 25 win by 2, but if a 5th set is needed, it's 15-2. That's what we call the sprint.
Yeah, we saw that in the Chillicothe Uniota match the other night. That was a great atmosphere. I had a chance to see that one.
Burbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just those two schools are just
stone's throw away.
Driver pitching wedge for some of us.
Yeah. Well, you've not seen me on my wedge shot. Yeah, mine. When I used to play golf, I was a zigzag golfer. Over there, now over here, and Michaela Renard with the serve here. We're underway in set 2. A little quick attack there, and Preston for Adena with the kill. That's her 6th.
Outstanding. I love to see the chemistry between setter and hitter, and again, Adena, even through some of the miscues, I like the pace that I've seen them play with through the preseason, and again here today.
1-0 Warriors. And Eva Gerber to serve for Adena. Addie Claxton with the pass. Bella Claxton takes it over with one hand, kept alive by Brenna Bossert. Now it's South Webster again on the attack. Zimmerman on the outside, going deep for the kill. Brenna Bossert reached up and couldn't bring it down. 1-1 tie. 3rd kill for Skylar Zimmerman.
Great idea from Claxton early in that possession there, and then great IQ from Adena when the setter's live in the front row. A lot of young ladies don't recognize that.
Bella Claxton, a tough serve and an ace. 2-1 South Webster. Bella had some heat on that one.
I think it's the first ace of the day for South Webster. They've had some tough serves, but statistically the first one, I believe.
2-1 Jeeps. That serve out of bounds long, 2-2 tie. And that's the tough serve. You're rolling the dice. Yeah, when you put more pace on it, there's always that higher risk of error. But if you can get it in, it's a weapon of its own. Townsend to serve for the Warriors. She lets up on that one, and that's an ace. So kind of a reverse pace situation there. South Webster playing back. Townsend hits him short, 3-2 Adena.
It's that risk reward you're talking about, and the reward for Adena is the ace.
And Townsend got that one off the net to go in. Played up by the Jeeps. Zimmerman on the attack and a kill. That's 4 for Skylar. Even again at 3. Addie Claxton back to serve for the Jeeps.
I love her feel of the game on the outside there. She's probably a little undersized in terms of some hitters, but she has a great feel for the court and some different angles on the shot.
Pass there by Katie Burns. Now Burns will get it back on the attack. Nice dig there by Addie Claxton. Zimmerman with the tip shot for the kill. 5 for Zimmerman. And the Jeeps take a 4-3 lead.
That's exactly what I'm talking about there. She gets well outside, kind of neutralizes the block, and then allows her to see the entire court.
Tough serve. Howard with the pass. Back setting for Brindley Preston, and she hammers her 7th kill to tie it at 4.
Great team volleyball. Starts with a great pass and gives a setter the talent of Townsend a chance to look it over and places it really, really well.
Zimmerman with a pass. Now Zimmerman will get it back, and she shoots it too deep, out of bounds. Hitting error for the Jeeps, 5 for Adena here in set 2. You tuned in late. Adena won the first set 25-19. And Preston serves it in the net. 5-5.
Adena's 3rd serving error of the day.
Skylar Zimmerman back to serve for the Jeeps. Coming in on the front row, Michaela Renard. McFerrin with a pass out of the middle. Corinne Day. Did you see that? She cranked it like she was going to drill it, and then at the last minute put that old changeup in there.
And I really like how she continues to come to the setter. I think so many middle hitters, they cost themselves so many swing opportunities because they almost give up on the play. She continues to come to her setter and was rewarded that time.
6-5 Adena. Sowers back to serve. Pass by Schubert. Outside attack by Renard. Dug up by Burns. Townsend going behind her to Kruger. Kept alive by the Jeeps. Tight to the net on the play. Tipped over. Townsend with a dig. Now outside to Burns with a roll shot. Addie Claxton with a dig. Out of the middle and just a little bit off there on the set. Raynard hit it in the net. 7-5 Adena. And Darcy Claxton, coach of the Jeeps, telling what she thinks of that last play. Nice serve, and that's not coming back. Off of Addie's hands, a little shy for Bella to try to catch up to, and it's 8-5 Adena.
They really hit a good spot on the serve there, back in that deep corner.
Cameron Sowers, I know the Claxton family pretty well, and they're good people. And Darcy really knows what she's doing over there. Back set for Maren Smith, and that is long out of bounds. Was it tipped at the net? Jeeps say it was, but the referee said they didn't see it, so it's out of bounds. So it'll be 9-5 Adena.
Good decision from the setter. Had the hitter had the wide open net, just a little bit off on the timing there, and it ended up selling long.
Sowers serve. Addie Claxton on the pass. Now out of the middle, little nice change up. Turnabout's fair play. Bria Schubert, she did the same thing Day did earlier. She looked like she was going to hammer it, and then at the last minute, the change up for the kill.
Certainly giving up some size at the net there, but she was able to kind of hang in the air there and then just kind of find the hole.
9-6. Adena lead cut to 3. And now Colton back to serve. Pass by Sowers. Out of the middle, Day off the block. Dug up by Kaltenbach. Outside, Bella Claxton tools the blocker, but Adena keeps it alive, and then Day serves it up, and she hammered it for the kill. Corinne with her 3rd kill, and the Warriors lead 10-6.
Adena really finding something there in the middle with some of that pace that they've been able to really use for some momentum here. Late first set and into the second set.
Brenna Bossert will come in to serve for the Warriors, up 10-6 in set 2. Warriors up 1-0. Saturday afternoon. Guys, August is almost gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the net. Point for South Webster. Makes it 10-7. On the service error. Bria Schubert back to serve for the Jeeps. Pass by Brooke Bossert. And Grace Townsend from the outside with probably her best swing of the day. 2nd kill. 11-7 Adena.
showing off some of that talent here in her new role that you highlighted in the pregame. And again, give Bossert credit with an outstanding pass, and again the set right on the money as well.
And Brooke Bossert serves it in the net. So 2 straight service errors by Adena, and South Webster back within 3 again at 11-8.
All of a sudden, 5 of those now for Adena on my sheet, and a couple of them here in the last couple points.
Nice serve, popped up by the Warriors. Townsend tips it over. Addie Claxton with the dig. Now outside, Zimmerman swinging away. Brooke Bossert with a dig for the Warriors. Going outside, that's Eva Kruger with a kill. Second kill by Kruger. Adena up 12-8.
I think she's in for a really big year, Mike. I know last year, there was with some of the elite hitters that Adena graduated, she was so solid, but you're probably more, 3, 4 on the depth chart of swings, where now I look for those number of swings to go up this year, and I think the stat sheet will showcase that throughout the year.
A lot of people don't know that she had 2 hip surgeries.
Oh, wow.
And that really has had an impact on her as she serves in the net. It's 3 straight serves in the net by Adena. But in the offseason, she has been swimming competitively. And that has really helped physical therapy.
Yeah.
12-9, South Webster back to within 3 as Adena is having trouble getting the ball over the net on the serve. Howard with the pass. Going outside, McFerrin. Dug there by the Jeeps. Now a little confusion. They have to free ball it over. Preston with a quick attack. Dug up by Addie Claxton, and then the overpass is put back down by Preston.
Great work from Preston going there on the quick. The timing just a little bit off, but it was enough to give them a little bit of an advantage, and then she transitioned right into her defensive position and was able to play the overpass.
13-9 Adena. Townsend serving after the Warriors have had 3 missed serves in a row, and finally it gets over the net. On the outside, the attack, blocked out of bounds. That's a kill by Skylar Zimmerman, who has 6. She and Mia Chrome with 6 apiece for Southwest.
Yeah, I highlighted that a second ago. Zimmerman just with a great feel on the outside there on where she wants to go with that.
Addie Claxton will serve as the Jeeps within 3. Howard with the pass, back setting to Preston, just tipped it right into the hole for the kill. That is 9 for Preston, 14-10 Adena.
You see so many of those strong side hitters, they want to cheat inside, and it just you're allowing that middle blocker to get there. When the outside hitter is able to get out there and space a little bit, man, that's a long way to come for the blocker.
At the Division I college level, they have people with those Swiffers that come out and mop up the floor, but at this at this level, they don't have that. Preston to serve. Nice pass up there by South Webster, but the set was way outside the antenna, and Lauren Kaltenbach just didn't have a play on it, so it 15-10 Adena. Preston again with a serve. And free ball there, miscommunication on who was going to attack it. Now Burns of Adena off the block for the kill. Burns with 3 kills, and Darcy Claxton wants another timeout as in set 2 with Adena leading 1-0. In set 2, the Warriors take a 16-10 lead here over South Webster. This is Mike Smith and Shane Combs, Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth. Good to have you with us here today. Of course, Southern Ohio Sports Authority has high school football every Friday night. John Bruce and Dewey Daly with the action, and they'll be throwing some volleyball action in throughout the fall as well.
I'm trying to talk Dewey into doing soccer.
Soccer?
He doesn't know it.
Well, and I, to be honest with you, when we were back in the radio days, if we ever did soccer, Dan Ramey, because Dan had a good mentor in soccer. Pat Hyland was an official for many years, so that was a natural there. I like wrestling. I wouldn't know the first thing. I know there's a pin, there's a decision, but beyond that, I'd be lost. Yeah.
Thought that was a good timeout from South Webster there. They just ride out a system there a time or two, and man, the momentum in rally scoring goes from 4 to 6 just like that.
On the attack, here comes South Webster, dug up back there by Preston. Outside, tip there by Burns, dug up by Bella Claxon. Now Bella with the attack. Nice swing by Bella Claxon for her second kill. Cuts it to 16-11.
Just what you want out of a timeout. You know, you want to kind of just stop the momentum a little bit, and then as a coach, you want to come out. You really want your best player to help make a play when you feel like the set's getting away from you, and that's what happens there with Claxon.
I was watching some of the live streams earlier this week at South Webster provides. Bella, even when she's on the background, she does a nice job. She has a real high reach on her attack, and at 5'7", she gets the most out of that reach when she's swinging at the ball. And there's another service error by South Webster, and Adena sprouts that lead back up to 17-11.
6 overall now for South Webster on the day.
So both teams have struggled at times on serving. 17-11 Adena. They won the first set 25-19. Sowers with the serve. Pass there by Schubert. Smith with the tip. Blocked in play by the Warriors. Coming outside and a kill for Michaela Rennert. That's 4 for Michaela. 17-12, Adena lead back down to 5.
Much better there. That was more like we were seeing earlier, where you had multiple hitters back ready to hit and attacking, and making it a little more difficult on Adena to predict where the ball was going to go.
Lauren Kaltenbach with the serve. Burns with the pass. Now out of the middle, Day. She's dug up there by Zimmerman. Tipped over. Townsend with a one-arm save. Adena has the free ball. Pass was tight to the net. Bella went with one hand just to try to keep it out of the net, and wasn't much she could do with it. Point for Adena, 18-12, but a nice effort there by South Webster.
It really was. Great effort from Townsend on the one
sirree.
side, and then, like I said, a great job of just staying out of the net.
Brenna Bossert with the serve. Addie Claxon with the pass. Bella coming outside with the attack. Dug up there by Brooke Bossert. Now Townsend with a swing outside, and that's blocked by South Webster. Cuts the Adena lead to 18-13. South Webster to serve, trailing by 5. We have an official's time.
I think you had a lineup
question
here for South Webster when the libero was leaving.
And I believe that's Lauren Kaltenbach back to serve for the Jeeps. Sowers with the pass. Out of the middle, Day kept alive, but the overpass got up there, and it was crammed down by, I believe that was Kruger. 19-13 Adena. South Webster again doing a nice job just to try to keep it alive, but did not make it back over the net. Adena serve, pass by Kaltenbach. Now out of the middle, Crum with a tip. Overpass by the Warriors. Here comes South Webster with a chance. Bella Claxon's attack dug up by Bossert. Outside, Townsend going just a little long. Out of bounds, 19-14.
Good attack there from South Webster at Adena. Just out of system a little bit, and as a result, led to the hitting error. Just missing the line.
19-14, Adena by 5. South Webster with the serve. Sowers with the pass. Townsend going outside to Preston, swinging deep. Dug up there. Now that's Zimmerman on the attack. Bossert with a dig. Back setting for Kruger. She goes cross court for the kill. So Kruger had a bit of a slow start, now up to 4 kills, 20-14 Adena.
And give credit to Bossert. You know, a lot of kids, it's one thing to dig up an attack like that. It's another thing to dig it up on target. And it allows you just to come right back on offense and go. And Brooke, outstanding there in the different collared jersey.
So the Warriors by 6, and Kruger back to serve. And here it comes. Addie Claxon with the pass. Bella to Crum in the middle. Tipped over. Brenna Bossert with a dig. Ball set way outside. Tipped over. Kept alive. Warriors with the pass up. And a block at the net by Bella Claxon. 20-15. Back to within 5.
showing off her entire skill set there, not just the setter, as a passer, server, hitter. That time defensively at the net, getting those hands out over the net, staying out of the net, and creating a point with her defense.
Bella Claxon now will serve. The Warrior lead cut to 5. Tough serve. Howard with the pass. Townsend outside to McFerrin. Her roll shot kept alive by the Jeeps. Nice play. Now the Warriors back setting for Townsend. Dug up there by Bella Claxon. Zimmerman with a roll shot. Dug up by Bossert. Going outside to McFerrin. And a block by Smith. 20-16.
Yeah, Crum and Smith both out there together. Nice job getting it set back-to-back defensive points there at the net with the block for South Webster.
Jeeps within 4 after they were down by 6. McFerrin has to roll it deep, and it hit the corner. She was just trying to keep that alive, McFerrin was, and she found that deep corner for the kill.
Good adjustment. A lot of young players will still overswing at that, and that ball will sail long on them. It just good awareness to put the ball in play and found a corner.
First kill by Adriana McFerrin. Townsend with a serve, passed by Zimmerman. Now Zimmerman will be on the attack. Glanced off the top of the net, kept alive. Adena has to free ball over. Pass there by Kessler. And the left-hand attack by Zimmerman hit the antenna. That's out of bounds. Point Adena, and the Warriors back up by 6, 22-16.
One of the few times they've set Zimmerman tight, and that's a little bit what I'm talking about. She's much more comfortable. She can get a little space and come off the net.
Townsend with a serve, Zimmerman with a pass. Now Zimmerman gets it back on the roll shot. Dug there by Townsend. Outside it goes to Burns. She's dug back there by Kessler. Out of the middle, Crum. Off the block, dug up by the Warriors. Now Preston with a tip. Claxon going deep on the line for the kill.
Outstanding.
Bella Claxon. She's got eyes in the back of her head, folks. She knows where everything is on the opposite side of the floor.
In coaching, we always talk about from young to old. We always talk about the game slowing down. She's like she's just playing a whole different level out there.
Addie Claxon with a serve. Now the Warriors with the attack, and Preston goes out of bounds wide, 22-18, unless the Warriors contend the ball was tipped, but I don't think the officials saw it that way. So it should be a point for South Webster, 22-18.
This is a gym that we have a pretty good view at. I didn't see anything there.
Either.
I thought it was a good idea. Just missed their spot.
22-18. Addie Claxon with the serve. Burns with a pass. Back setting Preston. Dug up by Bella Claxon. Now Bella will attack it from the back row with a roll shot kill. And for Bella, that's 4 kills, and the 6-point lead has been cut in half, 22-19.
Claxon really getting involved in a lot of ways, trying to will her team here. This is one that the Jeeps really need.
Short serve. Rolled over by Preston, dug up by Addie Claxon, out of the middle on the attack, and that goes out of bounds. Point Adena on Schupert's miss hit, 23-19 Adena.
Thing I noticed in walking by the Adena girls at the preview, that this is one of the longer teams at the net that I've seen Adena in a while.
On the overpass, Burns brings it back. Now Zimmerman with a tip shot, kept alive by the Warriors. They have to free ball. Back setting for Maren Smith, and she gets a cross-court kill. Second for Smith, 23-20.
One of the few times on that backside since early in the first set that they've been able to get an open net, and that time they were able to deliver the kill.
Zimmerman trying to lead this comeback. Outside to Corinne Day with a roll shot. Dug up by Zimmerman. Outside attack, Schubert with the kill, and South Webster back to within 2, 23-21. Adena.
Good timeout.
Wants a timeout. Adena up 1-0, but in set 2, South Webster has rallied from a 6-point deficit to cut it to 23-21. Mike Smith and Shane Combs with you here on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth. And great effort by South Webster to get back in this match.
Well, it's what you'd expect from a team like that with their back against the wall. And I've been real impressed, in certain spots where they're undersized, they do a nice job of spreading the front row, getting out wide, playing off the net a little bit. And there's another great example there where an undersized hitter just with a little bit of IQ and a little bit of feel for the game was able to find the hole and sneak it down inside the block.
They refer to, in volleyball, tooling the blocker,
Yes.
and sometimes you can power through, but sometimes you can just take a little bit off of it and maybe even brush it off that block sometimes. So the Jeeps have rallied from 6 down to cut it to 2, 23-21 in the second set. Zimmerman with the serve. McFerrin, tough on the overpass, kept alive. Here comes the Jeeps. Out of the middle in the attack, and a kill by Renard. 5 for her, and it's a 1-point game.
Outstanding. I thought it started with a real good spot serve where they've been doing their best to go away from ball serve. It's worked a little bit with some errors, but in that time they hit their spot perfectly, and it led to some pace for them.
23-22, McFerrin popped it straight up on that. Free ball by Adena. Out of the middle, blocked in play by the Warriors, kept alive by the Jeeps. And attack out of bounds long. Set point Adena on a hitting error by the Jeeps.
Good volleyball all the way around. It was a nice block, good coverage on the other side, but then the attack after that just sails long. Great opportunity for Adena to go up 2-0 in the match.
24-22, Cameron Sowers to serve on set point. Goes deep, Addie Claxton with a pass. Outside attack by Schubert. Burns with the dig. Now out of the middle. Day off the block, kept alive.
Great play.
And the Warriors misplayed it, but are going to have to free ball deep out of bounds. Point, South Webster. 24-23.
Give Addie Claxton a lot of credit there. The set on the line, a chance to go down 2-0, and she comes up with a great hustle play to keep the point alive.
It's still set point for Adena, as South Webster will serve down 24-23. The South Webster service has really given Adena's serve receivers some trouble here of late. That serve deep, but played by Sowers. Outside tip by Kruger, dug up by Zimmerman. Chance to tie it up. Bella Claxton, dug up by Bossert. Now out of the middle, Day with a tip shot. Kept alive by Addie Claxton. Tight to the net. Bella is blocked by Burns to end the set. 25-23, Adena. And Katie Burns gives Adena a 2-0 lead on that block.
Well, it was a great job on the Adena defense because you felt like the ball was going to get sent back to the backside, but the Adena block, it's kind of like we say, we're going to make someone else beat you. They stayed home with her, and sure enough, the ball comes there, and they were in position to make the play. Well done.
First 2 sets for Adena, 25-19, 25-23. Must win now for South Webster as we come back for set 3 in a moment. You're watching the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
See everything Southern Ohio Sports Authority presented by OhioHealth has to offer by visiting our website at SOSAOhio.com for complete coverage of area athletes and teams, including game stories, features, live streams of games, player and coach interviews, nightly scores, area standings, and much more. You can even view and purchase action photos from our more than 100 galleries. That's SOSAOhio.com for the best local sports coverage around.
Are you in a bind and need an oil change right now? No problem. Did you forget to make an appointment? No problem. Just stop by any Glockner location and we'll squeeze you in and get you on the road quickly. Really, it's
Mike Smith, Shane Combs back with you. A thriller there. Adena had as much as a 6-point lead, but the Jeeps battled back to within 1. And then that block by Katie Burns ended it to give Adena a 2-0 lead. And now must-win situation for South Webster. They've got to win 3 straight to come out with a match victory here today.
Well, I think that's where experience comes into play. You know, the longer you go through your career, the better chance you have in terms of understanding what it means to be up 2-0 and trying to put a team away, what it means to be 1-1, what it means to be down 0-2. And teams that do a lot of winning chances are they do. They win in a variety of ways. So I was just making the comment after that second set that the thing that impresses me about South Webster is in both sets so far, maybe haven't played their best right there in the middle of the set, but they just wouldn't go away. They just kept coming. They just kept coming. They kept coming. You mentioned the other night could be the difference in their league race. In that fourth set against Wheelersburg is what you're referring to, right? They went from 20-12 to winning 27-25.
And then we're down set point in that set.
Right, so don't be surprised. When we look back at that at the end of the year, don't be surprised if that ends up being the difference between a league champion and maybe sharing a league championship.
South Webster out on the court first. Adena still in their huddle as we will be coming up to set 3. Again, this is Adena's first match of the regular season. South Webster came in here at 2-0. League play for South Webster, their 2 wins Tuesday and Thursday were conference wins. Adena begins conference play as the SVC opens on Tuesday night.
Mike, do you like them staying on the same side where they used to walk back? Do you like that better?
If nothing else, there were some things that were happening in student sections that was not good.
Right.
Transferring between set to set. This was, it started in the college level. This was a good thing that they went to. It's also very helpful for the teams as well. But
agree.
Yeah, some other things that weren't good happening that needed to change that. We're underway in set 3. There's an overpass kept alive by South Webster. Warriors now on the attack. That's Townsend outside, long out of bounds. And the Jeeps take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there. Like, we don't switch dugouts. We don't switch sidelines. We don't switch, benches and basketball and so forth. I like what you're saying. I just want to get your opinion on that because that is something that changed here, a couple years ago, right around the COVID time.
Right. So something did come out of COVID. It was good, huh? Not many other things. No. Here comes the Jeeps on the attack. Out of the middle, Crum, who went silent after a huge first set. And that's 7 kills for Mia to make it 2-0 Jeeps.
Yeah, great job, Crum. And great setter play there, going up and being able to stay out of the net and still put that ball in position for the hitter.
Now, Mia Crum had like 5 or 6 kills early and then went silent for a set or 2. And there's a miscontact by the Warriors inside, 3-0 Jeeps. Right out of the gate, what they needed to do to try to gain some momentum here, down 2-0.
Give Zimmerman credit there with 2 hands going up strong and staying out of the net, making a good play.
Bella Claxon, tough serve, but long out of bounds, gives Adena their first point. South Webster lead cut to 3-1. I think the Jeeps saw some problems with the Warriors serve receive in that late second set, and that's what got him back in that set. Back set for Crum and wide open for the kill. It opened up like the Red Sea back there.
That looked a little bit more like the opening set, on the back set there with the open net, the block not there, and Crum taking advantage.
4-1 South Webster, strong out of the gate here in set 3. Addison Claxon with the serve. Eases up on it. Going outside to McFerrin with a left hand, dug up by Addie Claxon. Now Zimmerman, and that's going to be a kill. She tooled the blocker. That's 7 for Schuyler. 5-1 Jeeps.
Adena had 2 defenders there, but unable to extend the hands out over the net. They got the hands there, and she was able to power it down through.
Addie Claxon is still on this service run. Another ace. Brenna Bossert unable to pull it down, and I think Coach Smith wants to talk about it. Quick start for South Webster here in the must set 3. 6-1 lead. Mike Smith and Shane Combs with you here on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
It's so funny in volleyball in comparison to other sports. I've always said what makes it so hard in the 3 out of 5 is the score starts over. You know what I mean? Like if in basketball you come out and you hit 6 threes in the first quarter and you have a run where you're up 23-9, you're at 23-9 starts that quarter.
Right.
It's that start over, and I don't know if you agree. I felt like this started a little bit at the end of that second set.
Exactly.
They started to find a couple things. The momentum started to switch, and then they've been able to ride that into the third set here.
Yeah, definitely. Adena's serve receive has struggled. As Shane said, at the end of that second set, even though South Webster lost that set, they found something there that they're still going to that well, and it's working. Bossert with the pass. Now out of the middle, Brenly, Bossert, Brenly Preston with their 10th kill makes it 6-2.
Outstanding all the way around. And again, that time I thought South Webster went a little bit easier on the serve. Right to the best passer of Adena. Bossert puts it right on the money. I'd like to see South Webster, even through some errors, stay aggressive with the serve.
Townsend with a serve for Adena, down by 4. Back setting for Zimmerman. A roll shot at just out of bounds. Just a little bit wide. 6-3. Warriors back to within 3.
Right idea, just didn't hit the spot.
6-3 Jeeps, set 3. And Adena up 2-0. So this is must win for the Jeeps. Roll shot by Schubert, dug up by Townsend. Now Preston out of the middle, dug up back there. And on the dig by Reynard, it goes too tight to the net, no play on it, makes it 6-4.
Claxton tried to square the shoulders the way you're taught, and she didn't quite get deep enough under the net there on the Warrior logo at center court.
6-4 Jeeps, 5-point lead down to 2. Townsend with a tough serve. Nice pass by Addie Claxton. Back set for Zimmerman. She hits it in the net, cuts it to 6-5.
Much better job. Adena had the double block there. And again, I like South Webster using that set a little looser off the net for her, as I mentioned earlier. I think that gives her more opportunities to hit more shots.
Within 1, Townsend with a short serve. It's overpassed by the Jeeps. Now Preston out of the middle, tip, and that comes back over. It's misplayed, a double hit by, it might have been McFerrin, and that gives the Jeeps a 7-6 lead.
I think it was.
7-5 lead, pardon me.
Excuse me. McFerrin, I think she wanted to go up and play it as an overpass, and then the ball got a little lower on her, and she got caught in the middle.
Tough serve. Bossert pops it up. Going outside to Katie Burns. Dug up there by Bella Claxton. Now coming outside for Schubert deep. Bossert with the dig for Adena. Now out of the middle. Preston deep corner for the kill. That's 12 kills for Brenly Preston. Cuts the lead to 1 again, 7-6.
Adena starting to get some good balance up and down the net. I think their middles are going to be some things they get real creative with this year, but they've also been able to get some offense from the outside.
Mm-hmm. Both of these teams lost 3,
Oh,
quality players from last year. Adena had a first-team All-Ohioan. South Webster had some good hitters that they lost. Sub into the match here. This is Peyton Robinson on the serve for Adena. Marin Smith on the outside, dug up by Townsend, tight to the net, tipped over by McFerrin. Now back row attack by Claxton. Warriors keep it alive. They push it over with 2. Out of the middle, tip, kept alive by the Warriors, and then hit out of bounds by Burns. 8-6, South Webster.
The one rule, Mike, I've had trouble keeping up on over the year, at the center court, can your foot be a part of the line as long as it does not go over the line? Is that correct? When people are watching that?
If it's over and completely off the line. Now, if your hand, any part of your hand touches it, if you go down, that's a violation.
Okay.
Day. Roll shot kill. Cuts it to 8-7. That's 4 for Day.
Nice job getting it over the block and finding that hole right in the middle of the South Webster defense.
Cameron Sowers to serve. Warriors down by 1. 8-7. Going deep. Nice pass by Addie Claxton. Now a little combination roll there, and it worked. They faked somebody in, and then Bella came up behind with a kill.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, in basketball, it's hard to get a kid to cut hard if they think they're just a decoy or the wide receiver. In volleyball, South Webster does such a good job of going hard at the net.
And then the Jeeps serve it wide out of bounds, cuts it back to a 1-point game. Adena down 9-8. South Webster has led pretty much from the get-go here in this third set. Had as much as a 5-point lead. Nice pass. Back setting for Crum, and it's blocked at the net by Corinne Day. They ran that combination fake, but Day was waiting on the second contact, second hitter to come through, and she blocked it.
Really well done.
9-9 tie. First time we've been tied in this third set. Claxton tips it over. Off the net for Day. Dug up there by Addie Claxton. Coming outside. Bella down the line. Kept alive by Brenna Bossert. Free ball by Adena and out of bounds. That's a no-no. You don't free ball out of bounds.
Well, and you feel like you waste just an outstanding defensive play there,
Yep.
but it's just kind of one of those where you're like, you just got to go next play here.
Back to the Jeeps, 10-9 lead. Sowers on the pass. And that timing was wrong on that. Day went in for the quick attack, and the set was a little higher than she wanted. 11-9 Jeeps. Raynard to serve. Bossert with the pass. Going outside to Townsend, and she goes long. Grace has had trouble pulling that down in there today. If she can get that top spin to go for her, she's going to be deadly this year.
Day used a little fake on the slide there and got her open net, just unable to find the back line.
Bossert shanks that serve receive. Adena will have to free ball again. Out of the middle. Crum off the block for the kill. 9 kills for Mia Crum, and South Webster builds the lead now at 13-9.
Game of adjustments. Crum with the fast start. Adena started to get the block on the right shoulder. That time Crum just kind of went with the little cut off of her right shoulder. Well done.
Sowers with the serve receive. Now Day with a left hand, dug up by Bella Claxton. Bella on the swing, dug up by Brooke Bossert. Outside Townsend, blocked in play by South Webster. Tipped over with a two-hand by Day for the kill. It came back over, and Day put it down. Cuts the South Webster lead to 13-10.
Day's been really good. I think throughout the year she's going to get into some real favorable matchups.
Brooke Bossert with a net serve. Point South Webster, 14-10 Jeeps.
Because you know what happens a lot of times, Mike, in those rotations, 4, 5, 6, a lot of teams don't have that second middle hitter. I think she's going to get herself into a lot of matchups where she's really going to be able to swing some sets.
Marin Smith back on the front row for the Jeeps. Bella Claxton to serve. Townsend going outside to Preston. She's dug up there by Claxton. Now Claxton with a roll shot goes in the net. Cuts it to 14-11. Jeeps lead of 3 right now.
So hard to play that ball with the one hand off. You know, a lot of the elite players do it. I just like sometimes I think with the two hands in their court vision, they can go ahead and place it where they want it. It's already somewhat of a free ball.
Eva Kruger with the serve. Tipped over by Crum, kept alive by Adena. Preston with a roll shot. Addie Claxton with a dig. Coming outside to Zimmerman. Blocked in play by the Warriors. Nice dig off that block by South Webster, and Zimmerman down the line for the kill. 15-11, South Webster.
That was really well done. I mean, she kind of, I think her first two options were taken away, and she just such a great feel for that back corner, and great effort from Bossert, just unable to get there.
8 kills for Skylar Zimmerman. Preston's tip dug up by Bella Claxton. Now Bella with a back row attack and a kill. Adena was in the net anyway, but it's still going to go as a kill for Bella Claxton, her 6th. 16-11 Jeeps.
Earlier, I complimented the Adena middles going more to the setter. The last couple times, it seems like they haven't been on the same page there in the middle.
Addison Claxton with the serve. Back setting for Brindley Preston for the kill. 13 for her. Cuts the Jeeps lead to 16-12. Townsend back to serve for the Warriors. Burns back on the front row.
Yeah, good adjustment. Not quite a true slide action, but kind of on the back set, sneaking in the backside there and avoiding contact with the setter. That was a good feel for the game.
Adena with the serve. Pass there by Renard. Outside, blocked in play by the Warriors. The overpass, tipped over again by Adena. Tight to the net. Townsend keeps it alive. Free ball for Adena. Out of the middle with the attack. Dug up by the Warriors. Outside, Burns swinging away. Addie Claxton with a dig. Now Zimmerman on the outside and airmailed it out of bounds. Point Adena, 16-13. So the Jeeps again build a 5-point lead, and now Adena cuts it back down to 3.
Another spot there on the floor. I thought on both sides there, things got real congested at the net. I thought both setters on both sides did a good job of staying out of the net. And then the back line was certainly open there. She was just unable to find a hole.
Townsend again with a serve. Let's something off the gas on that one. Coming way out here for Schubert, and that ball had to travel a long way, and Schubert's timing was off in the net. Point Adena, 16-14.
Yeah, well said, Mike. They were shooting it outside so far that the Adena had a chance to go. And again, I just don't love the tight set for some of the outside hitters for South Webster.
Townsend, a tough serve. Nice pass by Addie Claxton. Coming outside again to Schubert. Dug up there by Brooke Bossert. Cross court, Katie Burns, a rocket shot, and the dig goes out of bounds. Burns on the kill, her fourth, and the Warriors rally to within one.
That was really good volleyball. I've complimented South Webster. Let me give a shout out to Adena. I thought who was at Preston maybe that came in the middle and really ended up freezing the block for Burns to get a kill.
Townsend serve, Zimmerman with the pass. Back row attack and off the mark. It's tied at 16-all. Trying a back row attack from Michaela Raynard, and she just timed it wrong. Now we're even at 16. The Warriors on a 5-0 run here. Townsend again to serve. And it hit the top of the net. It's overpassed by South Webster. Preston, she hit it in the net. And all that was timing.
Yeah.
17-16, Jeeps.
Certainly open, right decision. They're just, as the year goes on, I think you'll see more and more of that timing come on. I think that's going to be an awfully impressive combination.
Zimmerman with the serve. Bossert with the pass. Outside it goes to Burns. Blocked. Kept alive. Schubert gets it in the net. Hitting air, tied again at 17. And again, Warriors using freshman Peyton Robinson to come in and serve. 17-all, Adena service. Popped up. Now outside Raynard, dug up by Robinson. Coming outside to Burns, down the line, kept alive. Ping pong it looked like. Now Day out of the middle. Smith with a nice one-arm dig. Schubert with the attack. Tight to the net. Schubert will attack again, and it goes in the net. Point Adena. And a rare lead in this set of 18-17 for Adena.
Yeah, really put Schubert in a tough spot there. Everything was so tight to the net and just didn't have a whole lot of places to go. She tried to go down the net, just couldn't get it over.
Nice pass by Addie Claxton. Back setting from Marin Smith. And kept alive somehow, but it wouldn't come back. Robinson was down on one knee. Got a hand on it, but wouldn't come back. 18-all. Lauren Kaltenbach back to serve for the Jeeps. All even 18-all. 2-0 lead by Adena in sets. Must win for the Jeeps to stay alive. Warriors push it over. Claxton with the attack, dug up by Brooke Bossert. Now Burns outside, going deep. Dug up back there by the Jeeps. Bella Claxton down the line for the kill.
Yeah, much better spacing that time. Even though that ball's still in the air a long time to the outside, because it's off the net, you're giving such a talented hitter so many more options. And she was able to find a nice hole in the Adena defense.
19-18 Jeeps, a short serve that almost caught the Warriors off guard, and then the free ball goes out of bounds, and the Jeeps back up by 2, 20-18.
Kaltenbach with a kind of an impressive serve, caught him off guard. I think it led to that point.
3-0 run here by the Jeeps after they were trailing, and then they serve it out of bounds. 20-19. Jeeps by 1.
It's been everything we thought it would be. Both teams, South Webster, this first 2 sets not going away, and then Adena here not going away, and obviously must win here for South Webster to take us to a 4th set.
Cameron Sowers to serve with the Warriors down by 1. Coming outside, Bella Claxton swinging away and a kill. That was a money one there. 21-19. She's money when they need it.
Yeah, back-to-back swings from your best player with the match on the line. That's what you want.
2 points, South Webster lead, 21-19. 4 points away from sending it to set 4. Sowers with the pass. Going outside. Kruger rips one down the line for the kill. That's 5 for Kruger. 21-20. Adena within 1 again.
Yeah, you highlighted her first couple rotations across the front, maybe slow start, and since then she's really started to put her handprints on the match.
Warriors within 1. Brenna Bossett to serve, a deep serve. Kaltenbach up to Claxton. Now on the backside attack, and it went long out of bounds. South Webster, and they're going to get a tip on the block. Kill outside there by Raynard. Their 6th. Makes it 22-20 Jeeps.
Watching it live, I did feel like the ball changed a little bit, but I wasn't able to really see the hand. But that's a big point for South Webster.
Raynard to serve. Back setting for Kruger. Off the block, a kill. 22-21. So back and forth we go.
Looked like Crum was there, but unable to get the hands out over the top, and the ball was able to sneak down inside and for the kill.
Bossert to serve, down by 1. Addie Claxton with a nice pass. Back setting to Crum, and she gets the kill. Mia with 10 kills, 23-21 Jeeps. She's when she's had a clean swing, Shane, she's been hard to stop today.
She really has. She's played really well. Timeout here, I think, on the Adena side.
Yeah, Adena wants to use timeout with the Jeeps up 23-21 here in set 3. Warriors have that 2-0 lead, so a must-win again here for the Jeeps to stay alive in this best 3 out of 5.
I think what's really good for teams like this, Mike, early in the year is, let's face it, with these two programs, a lot of times when they go ahead and deliver a knockout punch, they go ahead and put away probably 60-70% of their opponents. I think what makes this such a good match for both teams is the way the other team comes back at you. So, if you look at those first 2 sets, in a lot of situations, Adena probably rolls, or in this third set, South Webster probably rolls, but in all cases, the opponent coming back, and we've had some really tight finishes down the stretch.
Yeah, remember back in set 2, that was 25-23.
Yeah.
And South Webster was rallying from a 6-point deficit and just fell short.
And if you felt like if you played to 28 or 30, they'd probably catch them.
Absolutely. And if they had won that, then this would have been to go up by 1.
Right.
So. 23-21 Jeeps. Bella Claxton with the serve. Townsend going behind her. Kruger, it's blocked, but out of bounds. Kruger with a kill on the block, out of bounds. So Adena pulls back to within 1 at 23-22, and Kruger, who got the block, will go back to serve. Tough serve, nice pass. Back set for Crum, dug up by Bossert. Now McFerrin on the outside, dug up by Bella Claxton. Now Bella on the attack. She's dug up by Brooke Bossert. Back setting for Townsend. 2-hand dump, dug up by Addie Claxton. Out of the middle, Crum with a 1-hand tip for a kill. And now we're at set point. 24-22. South Webster.
That was a really good sequence for Addie Claxton, and now Addie will have a chance to serve her team back in the match here a little bit and cut this thing to 2-1 possibly.
Mia Crum with 11 kills. Tough serve. Townsend going outside to McFerrin, and she hits it out of bounds long, and South Webster takes set 3, 25-22, to cut the Adena match lead to 2-1.
Just like you'd expect, right?
Yep, we're going to come back for set 4 in a moment. Mike Smith and Shane Combs with you on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
At OhioHealth, you can see your doctor here or here, on this or on these. And no matter if you're over here, over there, or anywhere in between, you'll feel good knowing OhioHealth provides the finest care anywhere. Schedule care today at ohiohealth.com/finestcare.
Here at Glockner's, we know how valuable your time is, and that's why our priority is to provide you a quick and easy service. We will get you in and out and on your way immediately. So schedule your next service appointment at Glockner.com.
Mike Smith and Shane Combs back with you. South Webster stays alive with a 25-22 set 3 win. We go to set 4. Same scenario. South Webster has to win to force a 5th and deciding set.
Yeah, it's just like I was saying before the commercial break. It's kind of what you expect. Two good teams. Driving out here today, not sure exactly what we would see, but I certainly didn't think we would see a sweep either way. So it makes a lot of sense the way both teams have fought back and forth at each other that we'd be heading to a 4th set. I have an update here, Mike. Circleville and Zane Trace, they're tied up 1-1 heading to the 3rd set today.
And Circleville's got a fine team this year. They beat Fairfield Union, as we were talking about, in 5 sets. The Falcons have Christian Thompson, who's a junior and already committed to Ohio University, had 31 kills in a 3-set match earlier in the week, last week. So that Mid-State League in volleyball, they're going to be dynamite this year. Bloom Carroll's probably the team to beat, along with Circleville and Fairfield Union will be up there. And a young Logan Elm team, I think they're going to keep getting better as the season goes.
Zane Trace is an interesting team because they graduate so much, and I've had some people mention them down around 5th or 6th in the SVC, and I think it's too early to really say. But the thing of it is I like their aggressive scheduling. They go out early in the year, and they're going to give a lot of these first-year kids probably 4, 5, 6 matches before the league play starts, and that's a big difference for some of them.
I know this is the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, but a news bulletin. Bob Barker just passed away at age 99. Price is Right. For those of us old enough to remember, he was on another show that was pretty popular for many years that took over for Ralph Edwards, but Bob Barker leaving us at age 99. For the younger crowd that says, Drew Carey is the Price is Right guy, yeah, but Bob was there a long time before that.
Yeah.
I think the lesson learned for both of these teams in the last 2 sets, you got to get off to the quick start.
Yeah, I noticed that the other night. Chillicothe and Uniota, I mentioned that match. Chillicothe's up 2-0, and Uniota comes out with Daniel serving, went up 16-0. They just completely flipped the match. So absolutely, the first couple points so important.
South Webster with the first serve. Kruger with the attack. Bella Claxon plays it. Now Zimmerman with a roll shot. Out of the middle, Preston. Dug up by Claxon. And then Bella Claxon with the left hand tips it in for the kill. Her 9th. 1-0 Jeeps.
Yeah, you got to recognize when she's live at the net there.
Raynard again to serve with a 1-0 lead. Back set for Kruger, and that's off the block. Ooh. The referee called it to South Webster, but that ball was blocked. Yeah, the down official caught it, so it will be a kill for Eva Kruger. I tell you, to be on the fairness to the up ref, that ball, when it's right in front of you, it's coming by so fast, sometimes you just can't see that. That's why there's other people that are out there to help you out.
Well, like us sitting up here, it's easier for us to see the ball change its path.
1-1 tie. Tight to the net. And then Bella Claxon makes a great play to tool the blocker to get that kill. Nice job by Bella. It's 10 kills for her. And that looked like that was going to be a tough one for South Webster, and Bella bailed him out. Now she's back to serve with a 2-1 lead, and she served it out of bounds. Isn't that like bragging on the guy at the foul line? Never failed.
I get so mad at the Reds announcers. They'll say, Carroll has it homered. It's in 2 months, and then there it goes, and we lose.
2-2 tie. Townsend to serve for the Warriors. Played by Zimmerman. Bella goes back out to Zimmerman. Dug up by Howard. Outside, Katie Burns with a tip shot, and then the return dig hits the antenna out of bounds. So that is a kill for Burns, her 5th, and the Warriors take a 3-2 lead. 3-2 Warriors here in set 4, leading 2-1. Back setting, and that was a tough one to try to play. Mia, who was left-handed, she had to take that with a right hand just because of the positioning of the ball. 4-2 Adena.
Yeah, I don't think she was expecting it to be that tight to the net.
Townsend again serves a tough one. And that's not coming back. 5-2 Adena as Townsend goes short to catch the Jeeps off guard.
Kind of a danger time here for the Jeeps here. We talked about the fast start. Grace is a young lady, can really roll off several in a row. Now it's my turn to jinx her, right?
Well, one was on me, now one's on
Yeah.
Shane. So out of bounds, 5-3. It's just something about sports, man. You brag on them, and something bad happens right after that. It's like the Sports Illustrated jeans. You get your picture on the front of the magazine, and then bad things happen. Here comes the Jeeps on the attack. Dug up by the Warriors. Outside attack and fanned on by Katie Burns. And that's a point for the Jeeps. Cuts it to 5-4.
Yeah, and Katie's really had some nice swings on the outside there. Just a little bit off timing-wise there and unable to get a good contact.
Addie Claxton to serve for the Jeeps. Down by 1. Burns shanks that pass. Now she's going to get a chance to attack it, and she makes up for it with a kill on that roll shot. 6-4 Warriors.
Love going right back to the young hitter there, just like when you have a wide receiver drop it. A lot of times on the very next play, go right back to him and good swing for the kill.
Robinson in the serve. Going deep. Claxton has to play it. Back setting for Zimmerman. Kept alive by the Warriors. They have to free ball. Outside attack, roll shot dug up by the Warriors. Now Burns for the roll shot, dug up by Addie Claxton. Back setting for Marin Smith, dug up by Robinson. Burns pushing it deep in the corner, kept alive by the Jeeps. Zimmerman outside, down the line for the kill. Check that, 9 kills for Zimmerman. Adena lead cut to 1 at 6-5.
She is really tough to handle when she's able to get all the way outside and they set her just off the net and give her a lot of court to play with. Really, really well done.
Well, Schuyler back to serve, and that is an ace. Riding up on McFerrin, couldn't handle it, 6-6 tie. Zimmerman serving with a 6-6 score in set 4. Howard with a nice pass. Outside attack by Burns, kept alive by the Jeeps, but tight to the net, kept alive on the free ball by Smith. Out of the middle, Day with a kill off of Townsend's set.
Good job of South Webster originally keeping it off the floor, but Adena able to come back with a little bit of pace and Day with a nice swing.
Warriors up 7-6. That's 6 kills for Corinne Day. Cameron Sowers to serve. Nice pass. Outside it goes, and a kill for Reynard. 7-all. Substitution. That's Colton back coming in to serve for the Jeeps. Bella Claxton, Reynard among those on the front row. Outside attack by Kruger, blocked at the net by Reynard.
Nice job defensively there on the ball tight to the net, staying out of the net and making the play on it.
Jeeps now lead it 8-7. Soft serve. Day out of the middle and a kill. 7 for Day, evens it at 8-all.
That's the ball that South Webster's having a lot of trouble getting to and getting on her right shoulder. She comes right up on top of her setter there and gives her a lot of options to go with quick pace.
South Webster coming on the attack out of the middle, dug up by the Warriors. Now Townsend on the outside with a roll shot. Back setting and a block by Townsend.
Tail to the Day both there. I always say you can tell by the kid's reaction who gets it, or either that or just tell kids to, hey, if you come down and react.
Now, when they're double blocking, they both get credit for a block, but Grace was the one that got the hands on it.
Yes, yes.
A little combination roll, blocked and play by the Warriors. tipped by Bella Claxon, kept alive by the Warriors. Now Day, and I think that hit the top of the net. 9-9 tie. Score at 9. South Webster to serve. Short one. And that's going to be an ace. That was a real nice serve that really didn't have much of a chance on a second contact. So 10-9 South Webster.
South Webster's used a variety of serves, and that short little pop serve's really giving Adena some fits.
Going back setting to Kruger off the block. And Bella Claxon swinging from the outside, dug up by Sowers. Day in the middle with a nice little roll tip over top of the block for her 8th kill. Ties it at 10.
You know, coming into the day, South Webster was real balanced on their stat sheet and kills. I think Adena's going to be that type of team as well as they start to get into the season.
Deep serve. Going outside in the combination. Warriors dig it up. Now back outside to Townsend. Dug by Bella Claxon. Now Bella with a swing. Off the block, kept alive by the Warriors. Here comes Bella Claxon again. Dug up by Adena. Preston with a tip and a kill. Long rally and a couple of nice digs by Adena in what looked like was destined for the floor. 11-10 Adena.
Yeah, you star that one. You call that the effort point, and man, those go a long way in a set.
On the serve receive, a tight one, it goes deep. Kept alive by Brooke Bossert. Tipped over by the Warriors. Another one-armed play there by Bella Claxon. Preston with a shot at it. That's not going to come back. Another long rally, and friendly Preston put it so deep that the Jeeps just didn't have a chance.
Yeah, give Brooke Bossert another star there, keeping that ball alive back in the middle of that play. That was outstanding.
12-10 Adena. Up tight to the net, a combination run, and Crum off the block for the kill. They moved the fake in, and then Mia came in behind with a kill. Cuts the Adena lead to 1.
Yeah, that was some of the best timing they've had in a while, where it really did freeze the block and give the hitter the free net.
Raynard to serve. Townsend to Preston, off the block, and it's not coming back. 13-11, Preston tooled the blocker. It almost looked like she hit that sidearm that time.
She did. You know, there's a little bit of that chemistry where it seems like Day likes to come on top the setter a little bit more. Preston likes a little bit more space, and some of those chemistry things will just develop as the year goes on.
Tough serve. South Webster's going to have a free ball to bring it back. Townsend hits it in the net. 13-12. Adena lead cut to 1. Back to serve, Bella Claxon. Her team down by 1, trailing 2 sets to 1. Going outside to McFerrin. Now back setting to Marin Smith. Dug up there by Bossert. Coming outside, McFerrin swinging away. Dug up by Raynard. Two-hander kept alive by the Warriors. Free ball by Adena. Out of the middle, Crum with a tip. Dug up by Howard. Tight to the net. And that's going to be a point for South Webster. We're tied at 13.
Yeah, good hustle all the way around there. As Claxon's going to the back row here, it'll be interesting to see where South Webster goes in certain areas there. Certainly getting some good stuff out of the middle from the lefty.
Outside attack by McFerrin, hit it in the net. And now South Webster, they have run off 3 in a row, 14-13 lead. On a 3-0 run right now, the Jeeps to take a 1-point lead. Bella Claxon again to serve. That's an overpass on the serve reception. Now Crum with a left-hand tip. Back setting for Townsend. Down the line, kept alive. Great job by South Webster. To kill by Bella Claxon. Woo! Yeah, great play by the Jeeps.
You called it. The started with Claxon, and then a great effort play from Zimmerman. And before you know it, the ball's on the floor, and the momentum has really started to shift here in South Webster's direction.
15-13 Jeeps. Short serve. Now Preston hammering it for the kill. At 17 kills for Preston, cuts the lead to 1.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with the middles of Adena today.
15-14 Jeeps. Townsend will serve. Played up by South Webster, back setting for Crum. Cross court, and that's a kill. Off Townsend's hands. Mia Crum, that's 5-10-13 for Mia. 16-14 Jeeps.
Adena defense in the right spot there, just unable to make the play, and Crum's working on a pretty big day as well.
Addie Claxon with the serve. And that's an ace. Claxon with the ace. 17-14 Jeeps.
It looks to the average fan like that ball's right at you, but that ball's doing all sorts of things as it's coming.
Warriors going outside to Burns. Cross court, another nice dig by Addie Claxon to keep it off the floor. Warriors scrambling right now after free ball. Outside Zimmerman, off the block for the kill. 10 for Zimmerman. 18-14, South Webster up on Adena by 4.
I've enjoyed watching her just work some of the different shots from the angle we're sitting opposite of the benches. We have a real good view of what she's seeing, and she sees the floor really well.
Ace, Katie Burns got aced. 19-14, and Adena wants a timeout after the Warriors had a 1-point lead of 13-12. It's pretty much been all South Webster after that on a 7-1 run. 19-14 here in set 4, needing this win to force a 5th and deciding sets. Mike Smith and Shane Combs with you in the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth. But I think it's still the serving. South Webster serving is giving Adena's receivers a lot of trouble. That's getting them out of their system, and that's paying off for the Jeeps.
Well, I marked it down on my notes. We go back to the second set. We're kind of both at the same time. We're seeing the same thing. Even though Adena ended up hanging on, you could tell that South Webster early in this match, their risk-reward, their errors were outnumbering their aces big time. And slowly but surely here into the third set, now the fourth set, not only the statistical aces, but the balls that are leading to the overpass or leading to Adena not coming on the attack. You mentioned Preston in the day she's having. Well, the easiest way to not have to block her in the middle is not let them come on the attack.
Absolutely. And it's kind of like they've been playing in spurts of when she or Corinne Day out of the middle, which I think probably is their most effective attack that they would have this year. Because they're out of system, it's hard to set the middle. You have to go outside, and that's what takes the middles out of the stir, so to speak. 19-14 Jeeps and serving. Outside, Katie Burns swinging away. Kept alive by the Jeeps. Zimmerman with a roll shot, and it's going to be a kill. Zimmerman with 11 kills, 20-14 Jeeps. Big turnaround here. Tough serve. Burns pops it straight up, and Burns will attack it from the back row. Bella Claxon off the block for the kill. 21-14.
Coming from that back row, the block was there, but that ball is that's a harder thing to time when that ball's coming from the back row. And South Webster in great position here to send this thing to a 5th set.
Their biggest lead of any set today of 7. Claxon finds the opening in the deep corner for the kill. Bella with 13, 22-14. South Webster rolling now as they are pulling away after being down 13-12. They have just been on a roll after that. Going outside to Burns. Big swing out of bounds. 23-14 South Webster.
And I do think as the year goes on, I do think Burns and Kruger are going to offer that balance on the outside. I think what you're seeing with some of the opening day thing, just a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of timing. As they get more and more on the same page, I think this is going to be a team, really both these teams, as you look at the stat sheet, they're certainly going to have their best hitter, as all teams do, but they're going to have a list of 3 or 4 people that can, maybe not take over a match, but certainly impact it.
Absolutely. 23-14 as South Webster continues their run. They were down 13-12 in this set, and since that time have outscored Adena 11-1. 11-1. That's like a tidal wave coming at you. And the only question is, well, we can't stop it. Do we just get out of the way?
And, I talk to different people that will have different opinions. Some will say, I really think set to set, it's a different thing in terms of, like in baseball, what do we say? That, tomorrow's starting pitcher is the momentum, right?
That's right.
I think there is something to how you end a set and how you start the set.
Preston on the attack, kept alive by the Jeeps. That's Zimmerman with a roll shot. Finds, just out of bounds. Looked like she was going to catch the corner over there, but did not. So that stops a long 11-1 run by South Webster, cuts it to 23-15.
And a further point of that, as long as I've worked with kids, just someone who maybe hits a serve or on attack or something, just something that might individually get them going into the next set.
Outside Schubert, dug up by Howard. Out of the middle, Day with a tip and a whistle. They call a lift on that attack, so the kill for Day makes it 23-16.
Gives Adena a little life here, maybe a chance to push back in it.
Peyton Robinson again serving. Popped up by Raynard. Outside attack by Schubert. Robinson with a dig. Going outside to Burns. Dug up by Bella Claxon. Now Bella on the attack. Robinson with a dig. Townsend keeps it alive. Now on the attack, Smith. Down the line over the block for the kill. Marin with her third kill, and it's set point 24-16 South Webster.
Yeah, Smith, when Smith's getting involved, that's giving them even that fifth hitter, making them that much more balanced.
Chance to send it to the fifth and deciding set. Outside Burns, and she gets the kill off the blocker. 7 kills for Burns, makes it 24-17. And Cameron Sowers to serve. Still set point for the Jeeps. Out of bounds, and there it is, set 4, going to South Webster 25-17, and that forces a fifth and deciding set. Stay with us. We call it the sprint to 15. Mike Smith and Shane Combs with you on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
Michelle and her dad. Decades of dares. 1 month of learning to jump. First day doing it solo. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at OhioHealth.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at SOSAOhio.com.
Mike Smith, Shane Combs back with you on the Southern Ohio Sports Authority. A 15-4 close there by South Webster in that fourth set.
I've just been so impressed with the way South Webster has stayed with it. I mentioned earlier, I think it's so important for teams like this to play opponents like this early in the year because it really gives them a chance to be challenged. The point that I was saying, due to the record that these two teams post throughout the year and will most likely post again this year, a lot of times when you go up 1-0 and then 2-0 in a match, there's just not going to be very many teams come back at Adena that way. So it's a great test for them, the same way as South Webster. They're not going to fall down 2-0 very often this year. It gives them an opportunity to fight back. And then as you get into a fifth set, really, really good volleyball teams. You don't play very many
Right.
5-setters, right? Because you're beating people in 3 and 4. So this next 15 to 20 minutes here is going to be a lot of fun in terms of just seeing these two great programs compete.
I don't know. I think I saw a statistic once, but it was quite overwhelming that the team in the 5th set that gets to 8 first wins like 60-some% of the time.
Well, it's interesting, too, because of the way rotations work in volleyball. You know, a lot of times you have that elite hitter, and then they'll go to the back, and then a match might flip in the middle of it. That's where, obviously, teams that have depth across the lineup, they have less of those spots in the rotation that they can get stuck in.
Rayner to serve to get South Webster started in set 5. This is to 15, win by 2. Here comes the Jeeps. Crum with a kill. Good start by the Jeeps. 1-0.
Well, Adena had an opportunity to receive first to go on the attack, but unable to really get in system, and as a result, South Webster brought it right back at him.
Michaela again to serve with a 1-0 lead. Outside Preston, that was a timing situation there. They worked against Adena. Zimmerman on the attack, dug up by Sowers. Coming outside to Townsend, dug up by Addie Claxon. Coming out to Zimmerman, and that hit the top of the net. The referee didn't catch it, but that ball was not blocked. But it's a 1-1 tie.
Preston and Kruger were there, but I agree with you. We had a really good view of it. I think it just hit the tape there.
And that's where the line judges have got to help with that. 1-1 the score. Kruger to serve for the Warriors. 5th and deciding set. Zimmerman charging the net, a roll shot, kept alive. Now the Jeeps with the attack, and that's called over by Claxon. I think Adena coach Laura Smith thought that might have been a lift, but they didn't get that call. 2-1 Jeeps. And Bella's got a big smile on her face. Usually when that paw is opened up with the ball on top of it like that, that's a toughie. Bella to serve, leading 2-1. Out of the middle, Preston with a nice quick attack build.
Certainly the timing on the same page there. Well done as Preston's big day continues.
2-2 tie. And remember, this one's to 15, win by 2. Townsend serve. Popped up by Zimmerman. Now Zimmerman with a roll shot from the back row. Outside to Burns, swinging away. Kept in play by the Jeeps. Back setting for Smith. Off the block for the kill. Marin's come alive here in the last 2 sets. She has 4 kills. 3-2 Jeeps. Back and forth we go.
Yet another lefty just to keep you balanced across the net. It really does freeze the block.
Addie Claxon to serve with a 1-point lead. Up tight on the net, back setting for Preston. And they said that Adena was in the net on the set by Townsend. They said she was in the net. So that is a point for South Webster, 4-2. 4-2 lead by the Jeeps. Tough serve. Back outside to Burns, and she finds the back corner for the kill. Her 8, 4-3 South Webster.
Great example of what I was talking about earlier, where Burns was able to get a couple swings there at the end of that 4th set. Get a little confidence, come back, and delivers a much-needed point there.
Robinson to serve. Warriors down by 1. Out of the middle, Smith with a roll shot kill. She has found the hole in that defense. Out of her 5 kills, I think at least 4 of them have been the roll shot where she's finding that hole. 5-3 Jeeps.
One of the few times out of the middle there, too. She had been working the backside.
And the Warriors have to free ball to keep it alive. Townsend pushes it deep. Kept alive by the Jeeps. Bella does likewise. Now out of the middle. Day tips it over. Kept alive by Schubert. And off the block on the kill. That is Rayner at her 8th, and a 6-3 lead for the Jeeps.
Rayner with nice length, plays a little taller than the height on the roster. Nice job.
Tight to the net. Burns' attack is dug up, and then the overpass. Burns right there to put it down.
Give Townsend a lot of credit. That ball again had her tight to the net. That time she's able to avoid the net, and then on the overpass, being able to make the play and
6-4.
Draw a little closer.
South Webster lead cut to 2. And Cameron Sowers to serve for Adena, trailing by 2 in the 5th and deciding set. Great comeback here today by South Webster just to be in this position. On the attack, down the line, a kill for Raynard. 9th kill, 7-4 South Webster. Altenbach in to serve. Trying to double the score with this service point here. Sowers up to Townsend, going outside. Kruger down the line, and that's a kill. That's 9 for Kruger, cuts it to 7-5.
Good job of freezing the block there in the middle. She's able to shoot it outside, get the open net, and they were able to get the kill to draw within 2.
7-5 Jeeps lead. Adena to serve, trailing by 2 in this 5th and deciding set. Ball coming outside to Bella Claxon, off the block for the kill. That is 15 for Bella, 8-5.
Kind of use the baseball analogy, the bad ball hitter. You know, I mean, a lot of hitters are good when they get the perfect set. She's one of those unique players that she can just kind of make the best of where you put it.
We're at the midway point, 8-5 South Webster. Out of the middle, Day. Dug up there by Zimmerman. Free ball by South Webster. Coming outside to Townsend. Kept alive off the block by South Webster. Now Bella Claxon, her attack hits the antenna out of bounds, cuts the lead at 8-6. Adena within 2.
Just got pushed outside a little too far that time.
Brooke Bossert to serve. Nice pass up to the setter, back setting and off the block, and a kill is Rayner. That's 10 for her, 9-6 South Webster.
South Webster's able to stay out wide on both the strong and the backside. They don't have to worry about the size of the Adena middle. They're able to go to line.
A little bit out of system on that. Kruger roll shot, dug up by Addie Claxon. Now Townsend outside, blocked in play by South Webster. Preston knocks it over. Crum with a tip, dug up by Brenna Bossert. Tight to the net. Townsend keeps it in play. Now again tight to the net, and the tip goes out of bounds by Zimmerman. Point for Adena, makes it 9-7. Long rally that hitting error made the difference.
It was good effort all the way around. She was trying to find the spot over top of the block and just went wide.
9-7 South Webster. Kruger to serve. In we go to 15, win by 2 to decide the match. Adena won the first 2 sets, and South Webster roared back and now have command in set 5. Out of the middle, Crum, dug up by Bossert, tipped over by Townsend, and comes right back. Outside, tipped down the line by the Warriors, kept alive by the Jeeps. Off the block, dug up by Bossert. Out of the middle, Preston going deep. Outside Zimmerman on the roll shot, kept alive by the Warriors. Out of the middle, Preston with a tip. Bella Claxon with a dig. Zimmerman tight to the net. Back setting Townsend with a roll shot. And a deep shot to the corner, kept alive by the Warriors after free ball over. Out of the middle, Crum, off the block, dug up. Back and forth we go, long rally. Zimmerman deep for the kill! Wow! Great job by Skylar Zimmerman to find that deep corner. 10-7 South Webster.
I was just saying at a sporting event earlier in the week that a lot of times what I look for in these things as a coach is I always look to see who's afraid of the moment. I'll tell you, this Zimmerman girl's not afraid of any moment. She's outstanding.
Bella Claxton with a tough serve. Howard with a pass. Adena down by 3. McFerrin tips it deep. Kept alive by Addie Claxton. This will be free ball over. And the Warriors having a tough time making a play off that free ball. Batted around right at the net on both sides. Zimmerman tips it over. McFerrin keeps it alive. Adena has to free ball again. Out of the middle, Crum. Deep corner kill. Mia Crum, 15 kills, 11-7 in favor of South Webster. And the Jeeps with an opportunity to pull away right now as they're in double-digit territory. And Adena wants timeout. 5th and deciding set. South Webster up on the Warriors, 11-7. You're watching the Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth. Mike Smith and Shane Combs with you.
You get into this 5th set. Yeah, a lot of people don't think of it like with volleyball, but if you follow volleyball, there is a physical and there's certainly a mental fatigue. And I think, again, when you have two teams that go back and forth and maybe certain actions you're used to executing and thinking, oh, wow, that's usually a kill, or, oh, that's usually an ace, and the other team's a little bit better than maybe you're used to, and they're coming back at you. And it's just been really, really fun to watch two good programs go at each other today. And good time out there with Adena, see if they can't execute and serve receive and come back, and if they're able to score and cut it to 11-8, then they'll be able to stay in this thing. But this is certainly danger time, I would call it.
Yeah, one thing for certain, kind of like baseball or softball, you got to do it one play at a time. You can't get them all back at once.
No 4-point play here for Adena.
No 4-point play.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
11-7 Jeeps. Bella Claxton to serve. But I still say the Jeep serving game has been the big difference in the turnaround, and there's another example. Ace by Claxton, 12-7 Jeeps. They have given the Warrior serve receivers fits in service sets 3 through 5. Claxton again to serve, another tough one. That's going to have to be free ball. Jeeps on the attack. Zimmerman blocked in play by Adena. Zimmerman again with a roll shot. McFerrin keeps it alive. Back setting for Townsend. Bella Claxton back row attack. Bossert with a dig. Out of the middle, timing issue. Adena really is having trouble there as well on the attacks. Back set for Townsend, dug up by Bella Claxton. Going out to Smith, going deep and long. Well, Marin has been on fire here of late. One of just a very few mistakes that she's made.
Mm-hmm. And even that was the right decision. Just didn't execute the shot. That was certainly the hole.
12-8 Jeeps. Townsend to serve. Short serve. And the attack by Crum for the kill. 13-8. And you could see that Addie Claxton slipped on that floor when she went in there inside the 10-foot line to try to pop that ball up. A lot of moisture on the floor today. As we said, yes, it is air conditioning, but that air is humid. You can tell. 13-8 Jeeps, 2 points away from coming back from down 2-0. Preston dug up by Bella Claxton. Now Bella with a back row attack. A roll shot for the kill. Match point. Match point, 14-8. South Webster.
Great shot. Again, just great court vision. Has so many different types of shots in her arsenal and just really showing off her entire skill set today.
Addie Claxton serving for the win. Ace! And South Webster comes storming back from down 2-0 to come back and take the 5th and deciding set, 15-8. Set scores today. Adena won the first two, 25-19, 25-23. Then South Webster responds, 25-22, 25-17, 15-8 for the South Webster match win, 3-2. We'll be back in a moment. This is Southern Ohio Sports Authority, brought to you by OhioHealth.
There's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
This presentation of high school sports on Southern Ohio Sports Authority is brought to you in part by your local McDonald's. McDonald's proudly supports all area athletes again this season. Visit your local McDonald's in Chillicothe, Circleville, Greenfield, and Waverly, and be sure to check out SOSA's newly relaunched podcast, Overtime, presented by McDonald's.
Mike Smith and Shane Combs back with you. Great comeback here. South Webster showed the season players that they have that did return for this team this year. They really showed up big here in this match today.
They really did, and you know, it's across a lot of sports, and I think that has a lot to do with it. You grow up, a lot of successful programs, you do a lot of winning. You could tell there was no panic. You know, they were frustrated at times. Well, all athletes are when you're losing. You know, they obviously stayed together, and they found something there at the end of the second set. So even when they fell down 2-0, really went in the third set, and they just stayed with it all day long. And just a great opportunity for both teams, because I think both of these teams are going to win a lot of volleyball. Both of these teams are going to be a huge factor in their league race. Both of these teams are going to be a huge factor into the district tournament. But that was just a lot of fun to be a part of.
I know with, again, this is 3 matches that they've played. Adena's first. But you got to learn from the things that didn't work right. And in Adena's case, being on the losing side, I found this over the years. The teams sometimes that lose learn more in a loss than the teams that won in winning.
It's true. You know, in coaching, we want to win, and we always say it's better to learn from a win than a loss sometimes. But to be honest, sometimes you don't get your kids' attention the same way. So yeah, there's probably some truth to what you're saying there. I think with Adena, they're going to be fine. I think you have you lost some kids to graduation. You have some kids that even your experienced kids are being asked to play some different roles, some different skill sets. That goes into chemistry, that goes into timing, that goes into a lot of different factors. And let's not forget, they're up 2-0 against a really good South Webster team today. So this is an Adena team that's going to enter SVC play Tuesday night when the SVC starts their Tuesday-Thursday format. And I certainly think in the preseason I had a lot of people telling me Adena Unio to be right there at the top fighting. I've had a chance to watch both those teams play in the preseason, and I would think people have that predicted pretty well.
I guess when you win, it's human nature to think, well, we won, we don't need to change anything. When you lose, you know you got to change something.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think that's the advantage of playing. I talked scheduling earlier in the day to you. I don't know if I did on the air or not, but you know, we talk so much scheduling in football, for example.
Right.
Who do you play those first 3 weeks? Being 3-0 versus 0-3, do you come out healthy? Do you come out learning something? Do I need to change a quarterback? Do I need to change a running back? You know, volleyball, it's the same play here. If these two do not have the aggressive scheduling, a lot of times you wouldn't find those things out if that's the case. But again, I saw 2 teams here that I think just very, very good. And I think anytime I've watched enough volleyball to know that anytime it goes to a 5th set, it's a coin flip. And that's what we had today, was 2 really good teams. That was just a nice matchup.
Both teams, as far as their attackers, balanced, but, you know, more so for South Webster. Here's unofficial stats. I had Mia Crum and Isabella Claxon, or Bella, with 16 kills each. Skylar Zimmerman with 12, 10 for Michaela Raynard, 5 for Maren Smith, 4 for Bria Schubert. Now, Adena was led by Brindley Preston with 17, but had a hard time getting her the ball down the stretch. 9 apiece for Corinne Day and Katie Burns, 8 for Eva Kruger. Grace Townsend had 2, Adriana McFerrin, only 1 kill on the night. I know they're expecting more out of her, but again, this is the first match she's ever played in a varsity.
Right.
Because she's been JV up till this year.
And in fairness to the Adena hitters, you highlighted it really well. From their third set on, Adena did not pass the ball on target nearly as much, which are going to impact those hitting numbers quite a bit.
Absolutely. So the Jeeps off to a roaring start, 3-0 on the season. Adena 0-1 to start. Keep tuned in to Southern Ohio's their social media sites. They'll update you on when you might next see high school volleyball here. But we were glad that you were able to spend a Saturday afternoon with the gang. Mike Smith, Shane Combs, and also John Bruce. For the team, have a great afternoon, everyone. So long.